Munchkin adversary here. Here's the list again, because go over here. Come to find out, 3 months ago, here's some freedom fighter right here. And then RioluPuppy's video on Sonic93 acting like they were victims of Sonic93. And yet again, these kind of people, they don't do shit, but actually spread lies and more paranoia. Before I get there, I want to talk about this list. Again, if anybody sees this going around, you should actually report the person who is actually spreading this shit. Or rather, you let them know, you inform them, just in case they didn't know themselves that this list is fake. Sonic93 has no victims. Akai Jane, as I probably said before, has a truce with Sonic93. I have said Amy-chan did by accident in one of my videos because I mixed up the names of Akai and Amy-chan, given that Akai's fan character is based on Amy Rose. That was my bad. Brandon is YoshiWii1. He has nothing to do with this either. Nothing. Her ex-boyfriend. Sonic93 never had an ex-boyfriend. This is a friend, or rather an ex-friend, who used her for her body and other things, including making her his very own Blaze, the cat. Vallic. Why is he even on this list? All she ever did was point out why she disagreed with him and why his points were actually flawed in regards to Silver the Hedgehog. Vallic did nothing to Sonic93, and Sonic93 did nothing to Vallic. Vallic is, I don't even really know about Vallic, but it's like having this list technically hurts him too. When it comes to Gmod Spartan, who is Amy-chan's boyfriend, Amy herself, Dunsville, Alderman, Ghost DXC, Mene, the Mini, Draco Charizard, Super Sprite 65, these folks are the ones who did a lot of the slandering. Akai and Sonic93 had something going on back then, really because of, I mean, if I'm saying it right, really because of the call out that Sonic93 and Amy-chan did on Akai Jane. But people, they want to discredit that. They want to discredit Amy-chan's name because Amy-chan disowned the video when she's still in it. So, I have something to say about this again when I go for it. So, before I go to those images especially, I want to read this. Because Amy-chan being a victim, right? And Akai being a victim, right? Even though it's a 2020 list, I want to read this. It shows so much of how wrong this is. Thank you so much, Jane. That really means a lot to me. And this is Amy-chan right here. So Sonic93 showed me this. I think Akai came to Amy-chan. I don't remember. Because Amy-chan sounds worried right here, right? She says, I'm glad you're doing fine, to Jane. And then she says, but no, I couldn't ever tell my actual feelings. Sonic93 has always had this obsession with you and would never believe that you got better. I am thinking I'm supposed to read from the bottom to the top. I'm so used to previous messages being at the top and at the bottom, and in some cases at the bottom to the top. So that's my bad. But anywho, I'm going to read what's wrong with this. And would never believe that you got better. She would always get angry if someone told her that you did. She would never believe it. She still thinks you're the same person from years ago. And that made me scared to confront her about it because of how angry she got. In fact, that's why she ended her friendship. Because I wasn't completely on her side when she started this drama. Her apology video is still up, but it really doesn't seem genuine now since she started this up again. I do wish you luck if you decide to talk to her though, since it's very difficult to get her to listen. So there's a complete issue with this. You say, Amy-chan, to Akai, you could never tell Sonic93 your actual feelings, that she always had this odd obsession with Jane, and that she would never believe that Jane got better. You also said she would always get angry if someone told her that Jane did. She would never believe it. She still thinks Jane's the same person from years ago. And that made you scared to confront Ruth slash Sonic93 about it because of how angry Sonic93 got. In fact, in fact, that's why Sonic93 ended your friendship with her because you weren't completely on her side when she started this drama. That's not true. It's because you were being sneaky, you were being dishonest, and other things that she's shown me and not just told me. It wasn't hearsay. I've seen stuff. And right here it's showing. Because why in the fuck would you enable a fellow victim, hypothetically speaking, a fellow victim like Akai Jane, to go talk to an abuser? Why? You say her apology video is still up, but it really doesn't seem genuine now since she started this up again. Okay, she started this up again. Why did you wish her luck? Why would you wish her luck? It's like, okay, suit yourself, go talk to Sonic93. What? Why? You basically enabled a victim to talk to an abuser, going by your logic. So here we go. No Problem by Akai Jane. No offense, I really remember how she treated me in her rant series. It brought me into panic attacks in very dark days. But I think she's gotten by her karma. I can understand she hates me, but her obsession over me is getting very unhealthy for her. She still uses me as an example how to be an ass and jerk. I think she just has a personal bias to me. I really don't mind. Even her calling me a Kai alone proves she hates me. But I don't care. Why is she not? Why she even didn't try to talk with me to make it all clear? I don't mind if she would. So you never talked about the quitting the rants. She said in her video that you both talked a lot about it, and she respected that you don't want to make more. I'm not afraid of her, but I should say, come to think of it, just in case people think right off the bat that she's just pretending she never said that she was afraid of her. If she did, she was actually clearing something up. It sounds like. Just saying, hypothetically speaking. I'm not afraid of her, but of me instead. I think I could one day do something I will regret in my emotions. In my emotions yet. She could use it against me. Again, I'm not really sure. It sounds like Akai is really conflicted with what she thinks and what happened, what may have happened, and what may have not happened. And I know why. Not all of it, but I know plenty of why. But still itching me to talk, just like years ago. This is part of the reason why. I'm not Son Amy. Almost called Amy Chan Son Amy. Amy Chan is one of the reasons why Akai Jane was weaponized against Sonic93 before. If I had said already, Akai and Sonic93 got a truce going on. Do not bother either of them. Don't try to break the truce. Leave them both alone. Don't start spreading lines. You're weaponizing Akai Jane. That's not good. You weaponize Sonic93. That's not good. You weaponize either of them. You're full of shit. Leave them alone. So right here, I understand. She caused me to have a panic attack when she ended our friendship. Did you say that because of Akai? Or are you saying it because it was true? Or you have a knack of saying something that's not true? Because you say that, yet you wished her good luck in talking to a quote-unquote abuser. She was screaming at me and called me names. It was awful. I'm very sorry that you went through that. I never understood her obsession with you years after the rants. There are way worse people out there. It's really not that serious. And I agree. I think she should have talked to you. Oh, I did talk to her about quitting rants. She understood and respected that. I mean, I didn't talk to her about my regret for the rants on you and how I didn't think you were a bad person anymore because she would get angry at other people who thought you were a good person now. And it made me scared to talk to her about that. You know what I would have said, Amy Chan, and people do not fabricate me. Do not take my line and make it look like I'm actually insulting Sonic93 when I'm just making an example. I'm not insulting Sonic93. I'm saying this in a hypothetical stance. I would have said, fuck you, Sonic93. I'm going to tell people what you're doing. I'm going to actually support Akai because I was wrong. What I did was wrong to Akai. I know I helped you. I know I was in on it. And hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't tell you this before, Sonic93, but what we did was wrong. Like Really, full throttle, bad. I would have said that. I would have said, people, leave Sonic93 alone. This is between her and me. Because people keep jumping in, and you enable them. Anywho, be careful if you do decide to talk with her, which I don't fucking get why you said this. She could be manipulative and may misunderstand what you say to make you look bad. She never wants to admit she's wrong, but it's still up to you. Why? She's a victim, right? That list, I get that list came in March, and this is January of the same year, 2020. But you said all these things about Sonic93, yet you're enabling a victim to go talk to a quote-unquote abuser. Is she a victim or is she not a victim of Sonic93? I know, but you should tell the people who see this and those you actually convinced that Sonic93 is an abuser. Those you lied to, Amy. You weaponized Akai Jane. If I was on that list and I was an actual victim of Sonic93, I would have told Akai to not bother with Sonic93. I would have told her, no, stay away. She's dangerous. You people going around saying she's dangerous, and you're enabling people to talk. Why? You're putting someone in potential harm's way if she were, in fact, an abuser, Amy-chan. So this list again, right? Akai Jane, Amy-chan, enabler right here, right? If Sonic93 in your eyes is an abuser, Amy-chan is still, in fact, an enabler. Whether Sonic93 is or isn't, I know she's not an abuser, but in your eyes, whether she is or isn't, you are an enabler if you do not see Amy-chan as an enabler, because you're enabling Amy-chan to lie further behind the scenes. This is fucking stupid. So, before we even get here, I seriously would have done something. If I was a victim of Sonic93, I would have spoken out against her, and I would have told people to leave her alone because they would have escalated things. I don't want hate mobs going after abusers. It's not going to solve anything. They're going to get hurt. And then, too, you take it too far with attacking an abuser when that's not the way to handle things. We got a justice system. I know people get away with certain things, but hey, Sonic93 is not getting away with a crime. But going by your logic, you are enabling her to get away with it. You're enabling to get away with what you accuse her of doing because you're not putting your foot down. You're not complaining about the YouTube moderation system. You're not complaining about any of that. But for some reason, you are contently leaving comments like these right fucking here. Jim, under a generic fake account name. I know I should have dropped this down because it probably would have provided more context. I did not realize these were right here, but I really should have. Like if I had like taken the time. But this is under RioluPuppy's video, the Don't Be Sonic93 video. Moon just said 1 year ago. So I watched this video 3 times now, and I will illuminate on some statements that were entirely not true. First is the fallout of Amy-chan and Ruth. Amy claims that it wasn't a big deal, that she and Ruth was joking around when Ruth wanted to respond to Melody's journal about Silver. Amy said to Ruth that it's not a big deal. Sonic93 has said she doesn't like it when people, especially Moon, keep saying her name right in the open. And me saying it out loud, I realize, but still. Mene says, I do hope maybe there will be a retrospective on this drama, maybe like the style Cecil McFly does, but I did notice some things off. Granted, Ruth's responses and methods weren't good in her comeback, but there were a lot of fueled emotions and flawed arguments in the Sonic93 drama. And what they said, even though I didn't hit the drop down, I wish I did, this is fair. If you don't agree with how Sonic93 handle things, I'm not going to call you a liar. You have your opinions, and maybe, maybe I'm wrong about certain things. Maybe not in regards to Sonic93, but how things were handled and what happened and stuff, because I'm not perfect. I don't see everything, even though I see Sonic93 as innocent. But hey, that's not to call you a liar. That's not to say none of this is true. No. You come in from a neutral stance, from what I'm understanding. This person right here did the opposite of what I did, what I said just now. We have perspectives, right? But this person says, no, fuck your perspective. It's not real. Sonic93 is completely guilty and all sorts of shit and all that. No. You can't be neutral. You have to believe that she's guilty or you are with her. This type of logic right here. So, Jim, you act like a hero, like some type of freedom fighter. So I'm going to give you a special voice. I would normally be a jackwad, say too long, didn't read, but unfortunately, I did read your text while of psychobabbling, Moondisk, even lost brain cells in the process, and it sounds like you're huffing copium while typing this. You claim it's a lie, that she clearly used her friends as tools, despite the clear evidence of this in public and from the actual victims' testimonies. And yet here you are lying about how Ruth is this perfect little angel, all while your entire interview on Ruth is her claiming she did nothing wrong, while she is known for attacking, stalking, encouraging harassment towards her targets, tearing them down as people and insulting them, their art and characters, some of which were kids, and others she chased off the internet entirely, or both. Why I'm not buying it. And I feel sorry for Mene and their one brain cell that they fell for your BS. Why do you feel the need to insult Mene? Mene, from what I understand, was being honest with what they felt and what they've seen. Even if they were wrong about Sonic93, even if they were right, they were being honest from a neutral standpoint, from what I saw. Leave them out of it. Why are you going to insult them? Did you just completely forget the person you're defending here is a doxer and a bully, or do you just not care? Again, there is evidence of her trash behavior, and you are just ignoring it whenever it is right in your face. But while I'm at it, I'm going to throw that same argument right back at ya. Stop lying, Ocelot. No one believes you. Well, no one's sane at least. You white knights are always the same. If you cannot be honest, then I'll leave. Is this from like the old MSX days, Snake? When you just go off on somebody because Hideo Kojima didn't approve of the NES games? No, just fuck it. Really. Joking aside, this is what I get. That type of vibe. When someone puts on a facade and try to act all heroic and mighty. So if this was real, if this was all real, the testimonies, why didn't anything legal happen to Sonic93? Why was she not legally tried? If she's a doxer and a bully, why aren't parents speaking out when you said there were kids that were affected? Well, why? Why didn't anything happen? So you are actually weaponizing kids, Jim. You and Amy-chan and others weaponized kids against Sonic93. That is terrible. You fucking did. You are a coward because you got this right here. People be like, oh, Muskin adversary, but you spoke against Moondisk. Well, I know. Moondisk is not innocent. But when it comes to this person has no right to slander Moondisk either. Moondisk was helping Sonic93 despite his own agenda. But at the same time, is it right for someone like me to even say what Moondisk did when he didn't do it if there's evidence that he didn't do it? I don't have a right to slander Moondisk, and I didn't slander Moondisk. I called him out. But I'm not going to take it far by fabricating what he did and didn't do. I didn't. That's my principle right there. Moondisk has his own issues. He has his own depression to face, despite what he did to Sonic93 and how he affected our friendship and what he did to Super Sprite, what he did to Mene, and what he did to Draco when he stood him up and pulled a 180, all because he felt attractive towards Sonic93 for the wrongest reasons. But still, it gives no one the right to come after him and try to ruin his life. This is fake. None of this is real because something would have been done by it by now. You're basically suggesting that YouTube and the police are enabling Sonic93's abuse when you write something like this and nothing of the sort has happened. If she's a doxer, where's your evidence? If it's in public, if it's clear as day, where's the evidence? Where's the evidence? You know Jim, you saying this right here, it's not helping to diffuse the drama. You're just gonna say it and say it and say it and say it and say it, say it, say it, say it. Represent over and over again to the point it is your lie stuck on auto repeat. Therefore, why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying. Really. I made this meme because I had to. Not really, no. Just, no, my memes may be shit, whatever. I don't fucking care if you think that. It's just me passing the message because honestly, I could. This could have happened to me. The more, joke wise, the more you lie. It's no wonder it didn't happen to me. Because you people are everywhere. You liars are everywhere. It's hilarious and at the same time, it's concerning and stupid. Really, what are you all doing to stop the drama? Amy-chan, you would have done what I've done. You would have spoken out against it. The whole thing. Not just Sonic93. You would have spoken out against the people fighting over you, fighting over Sonic93. You would have asked people to please put this to rest. You're going to affect my life the more you keep bringing my name into it and leave Ruth alone. I know what she did. You don't know the whole story. You would have said that if you were telling the truth. But no, it's a whole crossfire, and mostly it's coming from the people who are defending folks like you. Sonic93 is not a doxer. Who did she dox? Where's the list? You didn't prove it. You can't just say it and then everybody believes you. You're weaponizing people. You're lying to people. You're spreading paranoia. You are an irrelevant dumbass. I don't fucking care what you think of me if you see this. You cannot ruin my life. Even if you lie about me, even if you do something to me, I'm going to know it's you. I'm going to know it's your friends. You're not going to stop me from functioning in this world. You are a bully. You are a liar. You are a weaponizer. People like you get away with it so many times, and then when you get found out, you start playing the victim card. Jim, guess what? I'm a victim, but not a Sonic93. Just like Sonic93, I was exposed. My body was exposed. I was used. I was humiliated. And I was actually sexually assaulted. So, you know what that means? What Amy did, Amy-chan, and what you did, and a lot of you who refuse to actually say something, who are the same ones who actually called out Sonic93 for the wrongest reasons, a lot of you do realize you're making us real victims look bad. Yeah, you are. You can't even put your actual username up here. You have to be anonymous, like you're Batman or Captain Marvel. You got a civilian life going on that you can't say, oh, my name is Lemony Snicket or something like that, like 4.5 or whatever, as you're using it. You got to come up with this generic bullshit, Jim B7798. What does it even mean? Why didn't you call yourself Diamond? Why Jim? Jim is generic. So when people are speaking sensible, even if they believe Sonic93 is at fault for something, you take offense because, oh no, it has to be 100-0. 100% that she's guilty and 0% that she's innocent. You can't be neutral. Wow. And here they say, this is Onyx Gothic Cat. They say, looking back at it now, it feels like a lot of self-projection on Sonic93 part. And I definitely agree with you that it was definitely a while. People like this would make more. And I'm sorry, but what the hell did Jane possibly do to get 11 rants? I'm not going to hold it against this person for thinking what they think about Sonic93. I don't know what they thought they saw. But their comment is different. It's different from Jim. Right here. Even though they feel Sonic93 is responsible, they say Sonic93, it feels like self-projection on Sonic93's part. Even though they said this, are they actually going around telling lies? This is what they think. This is what they feel. Even if they were to be wrong. And they're not right. But are they right to leave a type of mood like this type of the mood behind their comment? Yes. because they are coming out as honest with what they feel. They're not spreading a lie. They think it happened, even though it's not true. They think it happened, so it's not their fault. So when it comes to Jim is like, no, she can't even be remotely innocent. Completely inappropriate and stupid. And just watched the video about before this one, and I'm still impressed by how she managed to end her career. Under RioluPuppy's video again, meant to say that. And whatever. Like, you're gloating about that. She ended her career, but apparently so, Foxy8R. She's apparently so, to the point where she's still at large and doing what Jim says she's doing. Doxing and all this shit. So you're not worried that she's doxing, Foxy? You're not worried about that? You're just gloating? Jim is gloating, and that's why Jim is adding salt and pepper to the whole freaking, she ended her career, but we're gonna add more because just in case she comes back. Wow. So you're gonna go on and on and on and on and on and goes like, nope, root, no, you're wrong, no, Sonic93's response, no, Kame, ha! God dang, you're so vocal. You're like a bunch of meat mop anchovies who did nothing to diffuse the drama. Nothing! And then Elena says, Sonic93 reacted to your video. To Riolu, I assume. Do you have a link for the reaction? Says Lauren. They send the link. Lace did. Scooter says, that wasn't Sonic93 though. Then they correct themselves by saying, wait, never mind. It was a collab with her. I didn't realize. I'm guessing the Moondisc video. The one Moondisc in Sonic93 called out Riolu. And then Emily says, she was in the video. She's butthurt. Is that all you have to say? Like, how is that helping us victims to get away from Sonic93, according to you and Jim and whoever spread those lies? She's butthurt? That's supposed to make me, as a quote-unquote victim of Sonic93, feel good? Really? And then some wacko on YouTube said, actually, Amy-chan Sonic93 did have other points against YoshiWii1, like his homophobia, like saying he believes homosexuality is wrong and insulting a group of people who didn't like Son Amy. I do agree, though. So, this person didn't realize that RioluPuppy's video is actually a fake and is not a documentary because she had no evidence against Sonic93 whatsoever. But am I blaming them? No, I'm not. This is what I mean by people getting weaponized. RioluPuppy was part of weaponizing. Part of the weaponizing crew, I mean. When it comes down to Amy-chan and Sonic93, people were, I guess, vocal in regards to Brandon being a victim of Sonic93, which was not true. And you probably say, oh, yes, he was, because that victim affected him much. It's like, Sonic93 wasn't the one who said, ladies and gentlemen, I think he's the next Paul and Amy. That was Amy-chan. So, no. If I could find that video, I will watch it and I will point it out. Other than that, leave Brandon out of it. Leave Sonic93 alone for good. And also leave Amy-chan alone. Even though Amy-chan is guilty and the others are guilty, the ones I pointed out, not Jane, leave them alone because it's not helping them to come out and come clean. It's not helping them to be able to move on after coming clean. If they do decide to come clean, you can't force them. But you're trying to force Sonic93 to apologize? What is your logic? And then this person, they give like a phenomenal quote right here that could be in a commercial. Like, whenever someone asks why I don't like silver, my answer would be because of Sonic93. There you have it, folks. The white teeth, the glare. Nah. Really, stop. There is a video that basically lost media, says, see baby girl. Can't read, I'm sorry. There is a video that's basically lost media by a user, GhostDXC, going over Sonic93. That is so good. Me and my friends have been trying to look for it for years. Okay, so you're not even saying why it's so good. You're hyping people up. This is 3 months ago. You know what's really, well, this is 2 months ago. This is 2 months. Wait a fucking moment. What the fuck? I feel like I've seen one of these people before, if not both of them. I don't remember. I don't remember. If they happen to be in my other video, I will post it in the next part. If not, then it's whatever, because this is what I mean right here. You mean this video, see baby girl. This one video right here that had nothing to do with Sonic93 except for Sonic93 and Amy-chan calling out Akai Jane. Why did you post it under there? Why? It's 3 months. 3 months ago. You're talking about this one. This restored archive video. RioluPuppy's video was like over a year ago. And really, you're the type of people that go, cope and seethe. Sonic93 is guilty. You're coping and seething. This is 3 months ago. Around the same time that video was re-uploaded by GhostDXC, who told lies and actually made it sound like Sonic93 threatened Akai when she didn't, and then too, by the same logic, made it sound like Amy-chan enabled it when she didn't. So you fabricated and slandered Amy-chan to GhostDXC again. I say that again. And then you got your friends or whoever saying this shit 3 months ago when RioluPuppy's video was posted longer than this. Longer ago. Why? Because you are desperate. Jim, you're desperate. Rielu, you were desperate. CC Baby Girl, you're desperate. You are desperate, Derek. Like, really. You're desperate. But you don't want to end the you don't want to end the drama. You wanted to keep going so you can still talk shit about Sonic93. What about us victims? You know, the ones that were victimized by her? And what about real victims who have nothing to do with Sonic93? Victims that she did not victimize, but those who were affected by people who were in fact abusive towards them. What about folks like me who are trying to help people in need, including folks who get brainwashed by those like you and Amy-chan and others who don't fucking care unless it's you getting dirt? And this is what I mean. This is RioluPuppy's video right here. So you could probably see for yourselves if those two people that are talking about GhostDXC or gloating like Derek and CC Baby Girl, if they're in fact the same comments that I saw in GhostDXC, you can just see for yourself right now. I'm not telling you to do me a solid, but if they're not the same people, they're not. If they are, they are. It's whatever, because either way, those are people that are just gloating like, oh, we won, Sonic93 is looking bad. Like, do you not care about what you claim she said she did to us? How is that making victims look good? How is that making victims feel like they've gotten closure in this whatever you claim we're in with Sonic93? Rielu, reason why I have you up there, aside from those comments that are there, is because you slandered Sonic93 and you weaponized your viewers, and you also lied to your fucking viewers. So you're going to have to put up with the fact that you lied to people in public, including kids and minors. You're going to. Because why would you have done this? What was the point? Yes, it's a fucking big deal. I don't fucking care if you want to roll your eyes at me. I know you don't know who I am. Don't bother doing some CSI bullshit. It's not going to help you either. I have a problem with people like you and Amy and other folks who go around letting other folks talk about the same person and you don't try to diffuse the drama anyway, but you feel the need to lie to your viewers. Younger you lied to younger viewers. You actually hate groomed. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's true. You hate groomed minors and kids towards Sonic93. Congratulations. This is fucking stupid. What do you? How are you even dealing with this right now? You know, I want to tell you all something, Rielu. I don't want you in this. I don't want you to have to bear this. But you chose to make this video. I want people like you to be free from this curse, from this accursed drama. Something you jumped in. Maybe things would have been different if a whole lot of things didn't happen. But they did. I know you're not saying something now, but I don't want your life ruined. Not over this, no. I don't want your life ruined at all. The same with whoever the fuck Jim is. The same with the people on the list that out of the ones who actually enabled. But you chose to do what you did to Sonic93. So the best thing for you to do, either leave her the fuck alone for good. I'm saying people in general. Or apologize and leave her alone for good. The only reason why a lot of people are still going on about Sonic93, for the most part, that is because they know she was slandered. And they know that they're a part of the slandering, and they don't know how to cope with it. So they want to keep blaming her because they are trying to make themselves feel better. But they can't. They can't make themselves feel better ultimately because they're coping and seething, and they're relying on their fantasies to save them from everything. They're trying to retcon their own actions when they can't. And their ego is fractured. Please, don't ever do this shit anymore. Like, don't. Your video was not going to stop her because she was never doing this shit in the first place. But instead, you pulled minors and kids into the crossfire. It's not even much of a crossfire into the slandering. Honestly, I feel like a lot of you don't give yourselves enough credit. Rielu, I could say the same about you. You didn't give yourself enough credit. Instead, you stooped low and did this. You're all technically better than this. You really are. So many people you could have helped. This wasn't going to help anybody. You lying to your audience. So why? And just because I'm speaking like this, it's the same thing with Mundus. Just because I called him out, just because I'm calling you out, Rielu, just because I called out other people, it doesn't mean I don't care about any of you. I do care. But that's one of the reasons why I'm angry. Because you don't care about yourselves. Or rather, you care so much about your ego than you care about reality. And how you affect other people. And how it affects you. It's the same thing with Amy-chan. Amy, I care about you and Gmod. I care about Akai Jane as well because of what you did to her. The same for Dunsville and everybody else. Whether they enabled or they were just put on a list against their own will. And then we got Draco. Right here. Me talking to Sonic93, especially in the call. This is Draco saying, having another watch of the video, and I don't remember what video it was. I think it's one with Moondisc. He goes, and here's something I noticed Ruth said. The only thing Draco does is get jealous when he sees Silver X Blaze pictures. But I don't take it seriously because I know what it's like. I'm not like, don't you dare talk bad about Silver, because I would be a hypocrite if I would do that, because I know what it's like to be jealous of a fictional character. If that's the case, then why she... Oh my god. Sorry. Fatigued moment. If that's the case, then why did she ask me stuff like, what will you do to Silver to show how much you love Blaze? He goes, I mean, she really asked me that. Like, she was expecting to be like fighting for a fictional character I have a crush on. And she knows I'm not the combative type, yet puts me in a situation where she wants me to be more bold and confident because she believes that's how guys should be, being the protective one of the girl and fending off any guy that tries to take her away. And it's just like, you're probably wondering, why am I reading this here? I'm reading this here because he's one to talk. Not because of this. I mean, it's one thing to have your own harem or love interest, and then guys you ship Blaze with. I mean, you could appear innocent and stuff right here. I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, just letting people see this. Draco is one to talk. Draco can come off as really nice because what he did for Sonic93 back then with Mene and Super Sprite 65, when all four of them were like clearing up the whole MelodySugarPlum mess, it was awesome. It really was. And Draco was awesome too. But the thing about it is that Draco backstabbed Sonic93. And he bailed in some cases as well, just to look out for himself. Draco has nice stuff on his DeviantArt and whatnot, depending on what it is. And other things are just really questionable, and others are just completely inappropriate if it's still up there. Like, at hindsight, you could think that this is something that Sonic93 sent me. You're welcome, and thank you for respecting my opinion on Blaze X Silver. While I ship Blaze with Tails, I can definitely say that Blaze X Sonic is far more legit. It makes more sense than Blaze X Silver, especially with what we have seen between Sonic and Blaze in the Sonic Rush duology. It's like, if you see this, you might think this is innocent. You might think this is fair game, and I would probably think this is fair game because, hey, we have our opinions, we have our beliefs, right? Yes. And Draco has opinions too, yes. But then you do what MelodySugarPlum did, in a sense, and since she wasn't talking about Blaze X Silver, she was talking about Silver. You're like, that said, I really don't want Blaze X Silver to be a thing in canon, considering how horrible and toxic the majority of his shippers are. Like, you just point your finger at the shippers and the inappropriate fan art that comes from it. It's like, there are inappropriate shippers in a whole lot of different groups from different lanes, and not every Blaze X Silver fan is an inappropriate shipper. My point with Draco is that he and others that were trying to call out Sonic93 for thinking that Silver is real and all this, or saying, oh, she's a Blaze hater and stuff, they are projecting themselves upon her. Like, a lot of times when people are antagonizing you, like Jim, come to find out, what they claim about the next person is what they actually do themselves. And right here, I think this has to do with. No, no, it doesn't. I think this is under a shipping. And maybe it has to do with Tell. So, this is my bad. I saw this image. So, Luigi Metal 616 says, Cream would have been better. And Draco says, that's your opinion, but please keep it to yourself. Don't like, don't comment. It's like, my thing is, someone thinks one character would be better for another character in some type of fan fiction, whatever. You don't need to leave this. I get this is back in 2020. I get that you chose to leave this. But at the same time, you would say, well, they had no right to do it. Well, do you get why they left this here? You say that's their opinion. They know this is their opinion. They know this is how they feel. But then you say, but please keep it to yourself. Keep your opinion to yourself. It's their opinion. Why can't they share their opinion with you? You have an opinion, right? And you say, don't like, don't comment. It's like, what's wrong with them saying Queen would have been better for someone, especially if it's Tails? And then we go to this right here. 9 reasons why Draco doesn't support this ship. The problem isn't that he made this, that he made his 9 reasons. The problem is how many times he's done it and why, the motive. So here we see this list right here, which I'm going to read off in another screen, another picture, I mean. So Draco right here. Oh my goodness. He either posted this back in 2023 or 2024. I don't think I have the date. Let me see. So he says, if I haven't made my reasons why I don't like this ship clear before, well, I'll really get my point across. And I'm not going to read all that right now, at least. I'm not going to read this out just yet. I do want to make a point with it. Draco makes it sound like he was obligated to keep saying why he doesn't like Sylvain. And here is where he actually edited it. And I'm going to read this because this is my point I want to make about MelodySugarPlum and Sonic93 in contrast with one another and with Draco. So first of all, number one, they lack the chemistry for a couple. Draco says, I'm sorry to say, but whatever interactions Blaze and Silver have in the comics, or even the comics since Sonic 06, just feels shoehorned in, very forced, and serves no other purpose than to give some soft ship baiting to the fans of that couple. Case in point, retconning Eggman Nega as being from Silver's future timeline and a descendant of Eggman instead of the soul dimension as he originally was. And the kicker is that Blaze and Silver never displayed any romantic interest for each other in the games whatsoever, besides being friends, having concern for one another, and being civil. Which people forget that you can be concerned and have civil conversations with a friend without falling in love. Sure, you can say that they show to have some sort of chemistry. Oh my god. Contradiction. If you say that, then what's stopping Silver and Blaze when it comes to, fan shipping? But even if there is one, it's rather limited, and two, it's not the kind that warrants them to have a love connection, making this kind of shipping just feel out of place. Well, this whistling right here sounds, I guess, more quote unquote tamed versus the other ones. I'm not saying it does, I'm saying quote unquote tamed. You'll see why I say it like that. But nonetheless, in all seriousness, why the hell does it stop you from enjoying using your fan characters with Blaze? Why should it matter to you? Why do you let it get under your skin if it does? People make shippings. They're going to make shippings no matter what. And a lot of times they're not bothering you, if any. Someone wants to pair up Android 21 with Goku, they're going to do it. I don't see Goku and Android 21 getting together, no. But I'm not going to sit here and bitch about it. It's called different worlds, different lanes, different universes, different tastes. Though there are inappropriate shippings. You and I both know that. So why are you letting it get to you, if that's the case? Number two, Silver is too reckless and immature. In other words, toxic for a girl like Blaze. Number one, how the fuck do you know that? Number two, he's not toxic around Blaze. Where is this coming from? Sega would have called him toxic. Other fans would have actually called him toxic officially. Now, before any of you raise a stink, I am not insinuating that Silver is a bad guy. However, I cannot help but find his overall personality to be extremely incompatible with someone like Blaze. Silver is so unprofessional, which isn't a really what? How? Which isn't really a good thing, especially when he's supposed to protect and save the future from being destroyed. He's uh, uh, you play Sonic 06, right? Right? He's uptight, abrasive, rude, too easily jumps to conclusions without knowing the facts first. Didn't you and Super Sprite and Mene and Sonic 93 clear up things about clear up things against MelodySugarPlum and actually show that Silver did in fact think before he acted when it came from Mephiles, when it came to Mephiles, spreading that shit about Sonic, the Iblis Trigger, when he was like if I forget exactly what he said, but it's in my Aldo and Gajenka video. It's like if I do A, B, C, and if I do point A, would I actually? Well, why? Oh my god! Sorry, I'm gonna give myself a tune-up. Ah, jeez, I had to hit my cheek. So Silver went something like, if I stop the Iblis trigger, would I actually save the future? So what are you talking about? No, the reason why I'm having brain farts and stuff because it's like I can't believe I'm seeing this. When people say something that's really stupid or really like phenomenally just ill, my brain goes out of order. It's like, wait, what? What is this? That's what's going on with this. So this too, right here, whiny, petulant, arrogant, just to name a few, basically a combination of Knuckles and Shadow's bad traits, but not with the backing that makes them engaging and worthwhile. So you're excusing Knuckles and Shadow's bad traits and taking it on Silver. How does that work? How is he even like them? What? His actions are also very inappropriate. As in Sonic 06, he tried to kill Sonic when he was tricked by Mephiles into believing he was the Iblis Trigger. How if let's say you had a point with this Draco, you know who would have been worse at the top of the list? Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, a Dragon Ball character, post Z character. You know what he did? He tried to blow up the planet. He tried to kill Goku. He tried to kill Gohan. He had Nappa doing shit for him. He blew up planets. So guess what? He ended up with Bulma. And he had Trunks. Your point? Vegeta redeemed himself. He literally did. And if you've seen the Cell games, like at the end when Vegeta was tearing up over Goku / Kakarot, Vegeta was developing more respect for Goku, for Son Goku. What is your point? And in Sonic Rivals 2, he stole rings from Tails without any thought. What does that have to do with? Let me just read this. And in Sonic Rivals 2, he stole rings from Tails without any thought, planning, and remorse. This actually sounds like what oh yeah, that is what she said. You're repeating what MelodySugarPlum said, and you are one among the few who actually called her out indirectly, right? Why are you doing this? So, in other words, again, I'll be taking those. Wait, what? Who are you? Sorry, I need it for the race. My onion rings. A freaking anthropomorphic fox boy is going to cry because his onion rings he got from Burger King got stolen by a futuristic hedgehog. Are you seriously using this as an argument? You sound like Melody. You sound like the people who were saying Sonic93 was gatekeeping Silver, only to come to find out you are gatekeeping Blaze and making Silver sound like the worst person on the planet when Silver the Hedgehog is not real. At least Sonic93 is better than you when it comes to how she treats her fictional husbandos. And then you say, do you honestly think Blaze, a girl with who is, oh my god, with who is strong, intelligent, level-headed, and may I remind you all, a princess, will want to put up with that kind of clownery? I sure as heck don't. Are you gonna just, like if anybody has seen like this epic character in like a movie when they just shift their shoulders and do that little dance, it's like, oh come on, agree with me. I can just imagine you dancing right there, Draco. Because this is shit right here. You have your opinions, but these aren't opinions. This is you fabricating. This is you you grasping at straws so it never happens. Number 3, they are more of a bigger sister. Oh my god. Big sister, little brother type of duo. So reading this right here, you keep on coming up with reason after reason after reason after reason after reason why Blaze shouldn't end up with Silver. This isn't why you don't support them. This is why you don't want them to be together. This is stupid. Blaze is friends with Silver. So shouldn't you be questioning why Blaze is friends with Silver in the first place? She doesn't think this about. She doesn't think what you say about Silver to be true. So what? You being C blocked by him. That's what you think. Despite Blaze and Silver being the same age as each other, it is very clear that Blaze is older than him, at least by several months. This definitely contradicts. Doesn't contradict. This doesn't really mix well with what. It sounds like a completely different, like, alternate universe of reasons right here. This is my point. But that's not the point. The point is that they have a dynamic that is like that between siblings. So even though they're not related, their dynamic makes the prospect of romantic relations between them moot. That makes things rather unsettling and creepy as it gives ancestral undertones. Oh, okay. So anybody watch Full Metal Alchemist? Edward Elric and Aphelios Elric were taken in by Winry Rockbell, right? They live with her. She took care of the brothers. Guess what? She treated them like her own brothers. It's a known thing by people who have seen Fullmetal Alchemist. Me included, because I'm a fan of it. So what's your deal? Because Winry and Edward, in both the manga and the second series, Brotherhood, which is directly based on it, contrary to the first series, they get together. So what is your point? Was the creative of Full Metal Alchemist giving ancestral undertones? No, but you're technically insulting them, and also you're insulting. Actually, I just want to bring up an idea. It's Fire Emblem. Anybody who's familiar with Fire Emblem has things in it that's complicated. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't. And I could be inaccurate when it comes to certain things, but when it comes to this one in particular, anybody who's played Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, I recently found out because I have Fire Emblem Heroes, that Micaiah and Soph were a thing, depending on the support rank. I found out online, I think through GameFAQs, and I saw it on other sites, that if you get an A support between the two characters, they get married. My point is that Soph was treated like a brother by Micaiah. And Micaiah, I think, took care of him when they were both young, though she was a few years older from what I read and heard. So what is your point, Draco? People who see others as their siblings, their feelings may change. You're making it sound like, oh, when they get together, they still see themselves as siblings while they see themselves in a relationship. No, their feelings change. You're making it sound like Edward Elric and Winry Rockbell still see each other as brother and sister despite being together. Oh, you're still my brother and sister, but you're also my brother. You're also my brother and sister in the form of my spouse. They don't do that. Their feelings change. You are slandering so many people with this. You make it sound like it has to do with oh my goodness, my brain is just. You're affecting my brain, man, with this shit. You make it sound like Sylvain's shippers are into this. It relies heavily on Sonic 06 being relevant to the series. The very existence of Blaze and Silver being together, whether they're just friends or in a relationship, opens the can of worms that is still going on to this day about whether the flames of disaster events ever happened. The fact that the foul stench of that disastrous, no pun intended, game still lingers on whether Blaze and or Silver as concerned is something that really grinds my gears. And the flames, again, no pun intended, have been further fanned thanks to the Project 06 remastering of the game. I get it. It's a game that could have been a masterpiece if given proper care, attention, money, and development time rather than being rushed out the door. And considering its age, it's a nostalgia bender for some fans, which I feel the same for certain games. But when it's a game that is so divisive and controversial due to poor and incoherent writing, mishandling of the characters, continuity, errors, plot holes, lore derailment, wasted potential, missed opportunities, and the overall incompetence of Sega and Sonic Team, why are you bringing them into this? Then I can't find anything that is nostalgic or worth defending. It may have good music, but that doesn't mean squat in terms of entertainment. What the? None of this is even relevant. None of this. You're just proving it, and I will point it out. I'll point out why. Number 5, their wants and needs are too different from each other. Okay. Um, Tails and Blaze's wants are too different, but yet you ship them together, right? Tails. I don't have a problem with people who ship Tails and Blaze unless they go by 8-year-old Tails and ship them with a like a teenager. Yeah, we'll get to that. Let's face it, Silver is at best a well intentioned yet misguided simpleton who needs someone to steer him in the right path, and at worst, a snot nosed, obnoxious brat who needs a schooling and rehabilitation for his exasperating antics. Blaze, a princess who rules the soul dimension, comes off more as someone who values responsibility, dutifulness, maturity, and stability, so there's no way she would like to be living a life where she would be in constant danger 24/7. She would rather be with someone who brings safety and familiarity to her life, someone who won't put her under so much pressure, someone who will allow her to be herself, someone who is loyal, reliable and matches, if not surpasses her own intelligence. Like, okay, why can't they have less intelligence than her? And also, you're insulting, Draco, you're insulting a friend of Blaze. Silver and Blaze are actually friends. I know what happened with Sonic 06. It got retconned. It doesn't change the fact that they are friends in certain media. Oh, it's non-canon. No, some of those things are canon. You're insulting Blaze's friend. Her friend happens to be Silver. She sacrificed herself for her friend back in Sonic 06, despite the retcon. Did she not? Blaze would not be your friend if you were saying all this stuff about Silver in front of her face, if she was real. Because you treat Blaze and Silver like they're real. Contrary to what you and so many people said about Sonic93. The irony. A lot of what you say is not even true, if any of it. It's fabrications, it's you being delusional. Together they represent, number 6, together they represent dated couple tropes or stereotypes. If there's one pet peeve of mine, it's a guy who is tall, boisterous, and irritating with a girl who is shorter than the guy. And Blaze and Silver as a couple fits that in so many ways. I know I'm talking about fan art and all, but it's so disturbing and disgusting to see Silver being such a dominant bad boy, treating Blaze like a lowly object, while Blaze, despite being a strong, independent tomboy, gets reduced to being such a vapid, meek, submissive, girly What? What? Ninny who just lets Silver do whatever he wants, like those stereotypical battered housewives who have to put up with bored, brainless husbands, yet remain by them because love stuff. Like you're talking about Sylvaise, are you talking about? You're going back and forth. I know you're going back and forth since you say you're talking about Sylvaise. You're jumbling things in, and so much of what you say isn't even true. You are just you're projecting. This is propaganda right here because you don't want Silver and Blaze to be together if there's any chance. So you're bitching about it. And you add it in your own universe and try to mark it as canon, making a big deal out of people shipping Silver and Blaze together. And then you say, number 7, it would deprive Blaze of her freedom and agency. Like, you already said something about them having different wants and needs. Like, are you their marriage counselor or something? Anywho, I know that may sound hypocritical considering how I ship Blaze with Tails. It is hypocritical. And you're inappropriate by far. But there's a big difference between how Tails and Silver would be, but Blaze should either one of the two hook up. Silver just gives me the vibes of an insult. You got Blaze. Okay. I'm gonna come back. Number 7. I just thought about something. You got Charizard, who's a fucking Pokemon, and your fan avatar. You got Big the Cat. Well, okay, Big. Big is but big. I mean, I don't mind people shipping big with Blaze. I mean, I can't control who does what. You got, I forgot who this was. Isn't he from freaking Looney? He's from Looney Tunes. What the fuck? You got, um, I guess this is my bad right here. Bowser's face is cut. Why do you have father and son right here? Oh, I get it. Oh, if Bowser Jr. grows up, but no, you're pitching the idea right off the bat of a baby boy with a teenage lady cat. You got Tails right here. You got Bowser. Bowser. You talking about Silver, and then you're not really thinking about how all these guys are so different, and how Bowser kept going after Princess Peach. I don't understand. I don't. You have no logic with this. You don't. So you're one to talk. At least when it comes to Silver and Blaze, they're not a crack pairing. So going back to this, Bowser, if anything, would deprive Blaze of her freedom and agency because guess what? The guy wants a princess. He wants Princess Peach, or he kidnaps someone. He wants to be the man of the hour where she caters to him, and then he makes Mario jealous, and he gets butthurt over it when Mario saves the princess. But that's not going to stop anybody from shipping Bowser and Mario together, right? I would not go off for anybody for doing that. I don't like to make big deals when it comes to shipping. I wouldn't. But it's like by your logic, how are you fine with your shippings with Blaze and those guys? So, what was I reading again? Because this is so stupid. Silver just gives me the vibes of an incel. A guy who is socially awkward around women, yet looks down on them and sees them as nothing as objects to pleasure him. Being in the kitchen, feeding him, and making children with him. Okay, what about how Bowser views Princess Peach? Basically, a trophy. He steals her, and let's not talk about the movie. I love the movie, but Bowser, to me, I love that version of Bowser, but still, game Bowser. That version. Tails, despite being canonically 8, is much more mature and responsible than any of his older counterparts, though he can be naive at times. Like, are you talking about the other Tails? His other counterpart selves? They're all Tails. You're insulting him through his other counterparts. They're the same person, they're the same character, they're different variations of him, but when it comes to counterparts, they're not completely different characters, at least not in that definition. When you're talking about alternate universe or alternate media, oh my god, alternate universe or alternate media counterparts of the same character, you are going to technically insult them all because you're saying, oh, they would be a better fit. The OG would be a better fit, and because I can't make an example. I can't. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid. That's like me bringing up Ash Ketchum / Satoshi and Red and saying, Red would be a better fit, for Misty instead of Ash. When Ash and Red, even though they're not interchangeable, they're counterpart variations of the same person, Red, from the original games. Why are you talking about alternate counterparts? A different characterization of the same character does not make a different character. So what is even the point of this? Blaze has counterparts too of herself. What is your point? Least Tails' naivety is charming and endearing as it adds to his adorableness. And then again, which Tails are you talking about exactly? I don't remember anymore. While Silver's type of naivety is just the kind that makes you groan. And if Blaze went with him, it's like, what does he see in him? There you go. You're jealous of a video game character. Or rather, you're jealous of a Sega character overall because Silver has his own counterparts too. Whereas if she were with Tails, he would show her more respect, treat her like she is worthwhile, and basically see her as his equal. Come now, Blaze. I'll show you to my throne room. You're kind of cute, Tails. Really? Is that what you see? Oh my fucking god. That's your interpretation of Tails. That's not Sega's interpretation of Tails. There's a huge difference. Heck, the same can even you said heck, like you're just projecting. Heck, the same can even say, the same can even be said with Sonic considering the type of dynamic both he and Blaze shared in the Sonic Rush duology. Okay, that's fair. I mean, Sonic and Blaze, I don't mind that shipping either. That said, Blaze was done dirty in the game starting with Sonic 06, and it's very sad considering how she made an impression with her debut in Sonic Rush, which came before Sonic 06, showing herself to be strong, independent, yet socially awkward, but developed into a more open and amicable cat thanks to her friendship with Cream and Sonic. After that, everything came crashing down more, and she becomes meek, quiet, and submissive, which was purposely done by Sega to make Silver look better than her. If that doesn't scream sexism and misogyny, then I don't know what does. Blaze deserved better than this. Seriously. Okay. Generic anime boy. This is about you and Blaze. This was never about Silver and Blaze. This was never about Silver. This is you. This is about you being C blocked by a video game character. You don't like Silver because you don't like Silver with Blaze. This doesn't really have anything to do with Sylvaise. You're just weaponizing people against Sylvaise because you want to be with Blaze. You want Blaze to yourself. You're gatekeeping Blaze. This is stupid. These don't justify anything. And then number 8, it gives me bad memories of relationships that make me feel really uncomfortable. Oh my god. Again, I go back to reason number 6. Those awful couples that go with the typical traditional gender roles, which is all too common in movies, TV shows, cartoons, and books. It really gives a bad message to everyone on relationships. They give me flashbacks of how I've been turned down by girls for guys just because they're bigger, good looking, and all that jazz, in spite of their aberrant personalities. I've never seen what you look like, Draco, and I'm not saying I need to, but wouldn't you be taller than Silver? Or are you talking about how people draw Silver all big, like a jock and everything? Like, hey, Blaze, guess what? It's no use. Gonna flex my muscle. Are you talking about that? Jeez. What the fuck? Not that I ever want them back, but you say not that you ever want them back, like oh hey, well screw you anyway. I'm better off without you, like some type of defense right there. But it always feels like that as a guy who is nerdy, slightly shorter than most guys, and prefer music over sports. I was in a no-win situation. Let me tell you something, Draco, if you're seeing this. A lot of times, I have seen girls choose guys that were bigger over smaller guys. And there's sometimes I saw girls choosing small, cute, bad boy guys over big guys who are actually genuine. It goes both ways, though I guess in a lot of tropes, it's the bigger guys who get it, who understand the world where the girl is coming from, while the little guy is someone who doesn't understand at all in the eyes of those who treat them like shit. So whatever you went through, it has nothing to do with Silver. You're fabricating, you're projecting your own problems into a video game character because you want to be with Blaze. You have this obsession with Blaze, and you could have related to anybody else going through this. And if this was really the case with Sonic93, why did you act like what you're doing is what she's doing? You're the one doing what you and others accused her of doing with Silver. You're gatekeeping Blaze right here. um, Silver the Hedgehog is his own person, his own fictional character. This is you making him sound like a real person, and with Blaze. And then you say in 9, I hate shipping someone close to me with someone who reminds me of someone who used to bully me in school. Don't ask, but I can only say that Silver reminds me of this one guy who picked on me when I was in school, made me feel like an outcast, humiliated me for no good reason than for jokes, and was an annoying and conceited jerk. How does he remind you of such? If Silver and Blaze aren't together, how does he even remind you of such? You're fabricating and you're projecting. I can't stand Silver when he makes me think of that guy. And the fact that he gets shit with Blaze, a character who gives me so much comfort and happiness, that makes her come off as an enemy, but you want Blaze to yourself. And then you put right here, I will not tolerate being bugged about Silver X Blaze. I don't like that ship, mainly because the Sylvace fandom is so toxic and shoves it on people's faces, especially to those who ship Blaze with different characters. So don't you even dare. So don't even dare, or your comment will be deleted. And if you're nasty about it, I'll block you. You have been warned. This right here is you trying to sound very authoritarian, and I don't appreciate it. You don't need to do this shit. You projecting your authoritative behavior is unnecessary. It's disgusting. You are not above the law. You're not even above your own rules here, or whatever they are. And then you're just putting on a mask because you're taking your own personal problems out on different people. You took your personal problems out on Sonic93. And right here, it's like, how do you people not see that one guy who jumped in and made it about himself was actually the quote unquote Sonic93 you kept thinking you were seeing this whole time? And this is what I'm talking about. This is an 8-year-old model, is it not? And mid-teen right here on Tails and Blaze. It doesn't matter if they're supposed to be aged up in any part of the description because I don't see it. The models represent an 8-year-old and like a 14 and 15-year-old. And this is you getting overprotective. Even if this person was trolling you, Draco, what you could do when it comes to people like this is just pay them no mind. You weren't in the right yourself, but I'm not going to ignore what they did to you. This is ridiculous. You said Sonic93 hates Blaze. You say she needs to accept the fact that Silver's not real, or a lot of you say that, and then you come to find out you're doing those things yourself. And 9 times out of 10, what she did wasn't even true at all. And then we got this stuff going on here with Gmod. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to do this in one video. And I'm going to speed it up. So Gmod has a history with YoshiWii1, so to speak. Whereas he baited people who are Sonami fans to come to his deviation, which was like a meme on Sonami. I thought I had it, but whatever. And he's gonna troll them. So you got YoshiWii1 taking it way too seriously, but at the same time, Gmod is being shit to him and riled him up, which is not good. Take the time to please read them if you want to see the whole context for yourself. The way this was handled was not appropriate. But YoshiWii1 was right. Gmod was misleading. He was provoking. But the way YoshiWii1 was handling it was also not good. This is ridiculous. Look at what Gmod's saying. Keep calling him kid. I get it, Gmod. This is way back. It doesn't matter because you were hiding shit and what you did contributed to other things. And then you say, but the damage is already done and there's no turning back, so continue disliking this if you want. I don't mind. I just don't care, actually. I just do my stuff and I regret nothing. Wow. This was not necessary at all. Like, there are bad fans, just there corrupted police officers. You're not doing it any better. You're just as guilty because revenge always bites you. Okay. Actually, he's got a point in regards to the whole revenge thing. Oh my god. Because Gmod Spartan did mention something about like revenge or what. It's just a whole tower of fucking things. And I'm trying to read this. I think I am literally running out of energy because this is a whole lot of stuff that should have been talked about and it shouldn't have been ignored. Not every single thing, but oh my god. Like, what is this shit? So, I'm going to do this instead. Have you seen the troll images they have made of our OTP? Have you seen all the hate comments they post or the spam we receive from them? I know a lot of people that have received even death threats, and that's going way too far for you know. It's even illegal. They have reported them, but they still spam those persons with Gmod. Why the fuck do you sound like Jason Todd when you're trying to hit back? That's the thing. That's the issue. This is ridiculous. So you come off with a different thing. You come off with a different approach because you want to make a point. And this is ridiculous. This is hurting my head too. Like, it's like, how do you even do shit like this? So then your friend who acts like they come from the Warriors movie jumps in and says, the Gmod, I'm gonna back you up here. Look, I'm happy your account got deactivated. That's the first thing you say to YoshiWii1. Really? Really? Yes, I'm a Sonami fan. Even if I wasn't, I'll still be a Sonic fan. This has nothing to do with what YoshiWii1 was saying. Actually, you're just trying to make a whole big point from out of nowhere. You're basically using a super spirit bomb just to like one shot the whole argument from YoshiWii1. I have Lost World, Sonic Adventure 2, Generations. You got to prove all. This doesn't really prove that you're a Sonic fan just by saying it. So I'm still not a true Sonic fan. You act like he was insulting you when he was going off on Gmod and trying to tell him like, hey, what you did wasn't cool, despite Yoshi1 taking it too far himself. Go home, you little kid, and cry in the corner. Honestly, in your terminology, you're the corrupted police officer. Go away from DA and never come back. If you do, this is what will happen to your DA. Oh shit. Uh okay. I did not just notice this. This is a threat right here. This is a threat. So one of Gmod's friends threatened YoshiWii1 back in the day. I did not see this until now. Oh my god, XD YoshiWii1 just shut the hell. And you folks just let Gmod, you and your folks just let your friend do this, huh? Oh, it's no big deal. I was 19 back then. I don't fucking care. You have so much dirt. Cause and effect still matters. And you're like, way too late for that. LOL. Making it onto a fucking joke. And then YoshiWii's friend came in. I may miss it. I may not miss it. But I don't think YoshiWi or his friend ever gave like a hostile threat to Gmod. And you keep calling people kid, Gmod. And what gets me is that, and they called you a numbskull. It's like, well, I get why they called you a numbskull. Because I'm, all right, I'm gonna just read this because every time you say kid, you make me think of Casey Jones. Kid, just don't make me laugh. I have seen many threat comments, but yours is nothing compared to what I received. Oh, you probably tell me, there you go. He made a threat. He was threatened to report. Your friend used like a machine gun and basically saying, "Oh, I'm going to do this to your whole account to YoshiWi1." That was extreme. So no, shut up. I have seen many threat comments, but yours is nothing compared to what I received before. You call me fan brat because I make a small joke to the fan brats that, number one, let me zoom in so I can read.
hate other couples related to Sonic or and Amy. Number 2, they spam artists with hate messages and troll comments and even notes and images. Number 3, they don't respect other people's opinion. Number 4, they create hate stamps for pairings we like. And number 5, they just like big babies when someone tells them the truth and starts acting like idiots. You know what? I used to support this pairing actually. I like Son Amy, but then I grow and I see how Sega bitch slapped the fans with their games where Sonic actually shows he has no feelings for Amy. And then the fandom of Son Amy, oh my goodness, becomes full of immature and cry babies that didn't like the fact that the president of the official Sega of Japan said that Sonic wouldn't ever get married, especially with Amy. And then I left that fandom because all the immature members it had. I just got disappointed. A few days ago, a good friend received a hate mail from a Son Amy fan expressing his hate for her pairing and her art. A lot of people have reported him, but the guy or girl still in DA, I saw the note that user sent to her. This is like a revenge. Besides, you say Son Amy fans have do not have trolls. You have no idea of all the. I'm trying to read it. Okay. Besides, you say Son Amy fans do not have trolls. You have no idea of all the trolling images I have seen about Son Amy, Sanu, Shadimi, Nix. Okay, I'm done. So, kid, please don't bother because you don't scare me. You can report me from me, and who will get blocked will be you. Why didn't you just block people before if you like that, Gmod? You enabled threats on your fucking. I just what it. This is going on here. I don't feel good. Just read if you want. If you want. If you want the context, read, please. With your own eyes. I don't have to explain everything, and I won't be able to. I'm just really disturbed right now. And I'm fucking mad. None of this should have happened. They have their own faults in it too. If not here, coming up. But Gmod just going at it, especially when they said see you around. Gmod kept going. And then like I just don't know. It's right here. He says all this, and then he says something about I have seen by your comment that you're possibly from the 5% that are real good friends. After the way you talk to them, you say, oh, they're probably about 5%. And you say, once more, my intentions were misunderstood. How were your intentions misunderstood? You're lying. And I'll point it out. All this happened. And I'm just really disturbed. Because this makes me think of the Sonic93 drama that didn't even happen around this time. It didn't. But it goes to show why Gmod and Amy-chan didn't step in. One of the reasons why they didn't step in to defuse the drama. You're cowards. You worry more about yourselves, regardless of what your actions do to other people. And then other people get stuck in your mess. This is ridiculous. And sayonara baka, calling them an idiot in Japanese. It's just really. Then this stuff right here with another friend or whoever of Gmod, where YoshiWii1 kept trying to tell them that they resolved it, that they literally resolved it. And then Gmod finally comes in, says, hey there, I'm glad you actually defended me, but it's okay. We finally have solved this as adults, and there's nothing to worry about. And they're like, yeah, I got that. It's like, if I had a friend that went off on somebody and kept saying this, and the other person's like, hey, we saw that, and they kept doing, I would have said, dude, I did not ask you to defend me. And even if I did, there was no reason for you to say the shit that you said to YoshiWii1.
You're taking it too far. Yes, YoshiWii1 came on my profile. And yes, if YoshiWii1 was being a jerk to me, I would say YoshiWii1 was being a jerk to me. But you're taking it too far, and I don't need you to fight my battles. What you said to YoshiWii1 is not even pleasant either. Lower your fucking energy. I mean, please. People need to lighten up. Just because I'm friends with you doesn't mean I have to accept what you do for me. Like, no matter what it is. No. We have boundaries. I have said this. I mean, it doesn't matter who it is. If just because I don't know a stranger, if I see what the other person is doing, if I see it in full context, like for example, if I see one of my own best friends go to another person like, "Oh, hey, how you doing, stranger?" And that guy has like a rep for like bothering somebody and nagging them for money, and they're like, oh, "I'm just," and then you're like, "Oh, you're annoying someone, huh?" And then the friend pushes, and it's like, I'm like, "Dude, stop!" And the friend goes like, "Well, he keeps bothering people." And he just like, what you are doing to that stranger is not justified. They're not being violent. If they're being annoying, there is an appropriate way to approach them. Just ask them, like, hey, please stop. It's not like they're a bad person. They may be annoying, doesn't mean that they deserve to be treated like a monster. Know your fucking role. Moving on. This was on the replies button, the tab. It went on for how long? Notice that YoshiWii1 didn't fire back. Kept pleading. Kept telling him, like, hey, we saw this already. That he realized it was a harmless joke. You, and it really wasn't a harmless joke, and you'll see why. Other people jumped in August, and, well, yeah. And then this back here, right here, where it started. I use Windows Vista. The friend says, brace yourself. The Sonic fans are coming. Gmod says, I just received a comment from the most bitchy of all Sonic fans, YoshiWii. I'm so proud. So you lied by saying your intentions were misunderstood. It was just a harmless joke. You were baiting. You were fucking baiting. And this right here, take the time to read it if you want. You can pause it. This stuff continued on. This fucking shit continued on. If I was freaking on Gmod, I would have just closed up the comments and made an announcement like say, hey people, whether you're defending YoshiWii1 or defending me, please leave each other alone. It's not good. I don't want either of you getting hurt. I don't want either of you having bad days. Please, for the sake of peace. No, you didn't do that. You enabled it, Gmod. You let one of your friends or whoever that was threaten YoshiWii. It was an inappropriate threat. I'm just fucking pissed. So many of you acting like, Amy-chan apologized, and Sonic93 needs to own up to YoshiWii1, and it's like you forget that Amy-chan was the one who said, I think he's the next Paul and Amy to Yoshui, and just how? Why are you so picky over who to blame? I think I should, if I can find a Yosui video, I'm going to watch it. This is fucking stupid. If it's still around. You have no idea. For those who go after Sonic93 to this day, you have no idea how stupid you are and how you're weaponizing so many of us. You're not helping anybody. That's another thing. You're hurting us by turning us into weapons to use against her. And then you're technically hurting Amy-chan and Gmod and others on that list, whether they enabled it or they never asked to be on that list to begin with. Because you keep bringing up their names and acting like they're suffering when they're not from Sonic 93. It's going to affect everybody when you don't stop. when you don't freaking stop. I know this is old, but still, one thing led to another. It's terrible. After this part, there's something I need to show in regards to Draco. Where the fuck it is, because I'm just. There's always something that I miss that I notice. I guess before I finish uploading a video or whatever, or I finish recording, and I'm just thinking, this is how people miss things because they type paragraphs. People who lie and fabricate so much to the point of slandering somebody else, they type paragraphs. If any of you notice when people are talking about Sonic93 and they type huge loads of paragraphs when they're accusing her, and they put multiple run-on sentences in one go, they're lying. Not everybody who does it, but a lot of the ones who do lie, they have a knack of doing it. This is ridiculous. Even though YoshiWii1, what he did was literally inappropriate, disgusting, all sorts of things, he was also bullied. He was also baited. And then you use his name to attack Sonic93. Is YoshiWii1 saying Sonic93 traumatized him? I have never seen him say it. So why is he on that list? You know you're lying over him when he didn't say that himself. If YoshiWii1 never said Sonic93 abused him, if he's not saying it, leave him the fuck alone. If you have no evidence of it, leave him the fuck alone, and you got evidence, just show it. Because if his parents were to see it, they would question him, then they would question you. And if they find out you're lying, they would call you the abusers of YoshiWii1 because you're abusers. Every person who keeps running around accusing Sonic93 of this shit, and they know full well it ain't true, you're an abuser. You're playing with the emotions of those you're weaponizing. Amy-chan, that makes you an enabler. If I hadn't said it before. This is ridiculous. And they didn't have to continue either. It's showing this because you people need to see it. Whoever. I just. There's so much that would describe the personality of someone who was involved in the Sonic93 drama because they have friends that they enabled to do this shit instead of trying to help diffuse both of them. Gmod. Finally, someone's like, please calm down. And this person was asking, actually, this person was asking them to please don't overreact. Even though Gmod, you lied to your own friends too, your own viewers. You lied to Ebony, but Ebony has the right idea. What hey, please calm down. At least they were trying to diffuse it. They weren't picking sides, but you lied to them, Gmod. And right here, they're very polite and said, okay, sorry, because they didn't realize that was an older comment. And then his royal butthurtness strikes again. It's like this right here. 2015. Gmod, you could have cleared things up by then. Fairy has the right idea that people can hide their comments or whatever, but Gmod, you still could have said something. You still could have said something to diffuse it. You were playing favorites and you were being a piece of shit. And yes, I did call you that because you were a bully back then and you were enabling people to go after Sonic93 when you did this stuff that led up to whatever happened when Yoshi went behind the scenes and all sorts of shit. I'm not saying, oh, Sonic93 and Amy Chan didn't make the video. No, no, no. Different people had a hand in it to the point that they blamed Sonic93, just put it all on her. And here, that, whatever. What fucking ever. Moving on. I I know that I for one was not like perfect. I'm not perfect now. I'm never gonna be perfect. I have my own clown takes, my own judgment and stuff. Wasn't good, but at least I can talk about it. At least I can call myself out. But to let people go on and on and on and fight each other, I don't like that. I don't like people letting that happen. It leads into a domino effect. And this is one of the reasons why people aren't talking, it seems like. And then Many to Many is another one that was on that list. Someone who was a minor at the time. I don't know for how long, but Many to Many was, well, quote unquote, interviewed by Moondisc. And it wasn't really an interview because they were saying their quote unquote part about Sonic93, Mini to Mini, Draco, and Super Sprite. And Moondisc was not really asking for real clarification, but rather he was leading them on to say all the things they said about Sonic93. And he did say something against what he said before, like he's saying things are different now or whatever. But it didn't change the fact that he turned a 180 on them. So here we go, right here. When Sonic93 showed me back in February. So this is the, I guess, the private group conversation or whatever. Draco. This is Draco Charizard. So Draco was slithering around. See, the irony is that he was bitching about Blaze and Silver X Blaze. You got Amy Chan, you got Mene right here. Draco says, yeah, doesn't make sense that she claims she doesn't hate Gmod, yet complains that he took Amy away from her, and it's the reason why she didn't stand up for her when the melody drama was taking place. Like, Draco, you. Why are you in this? Why were you in this? This had nothing to do with you. And Amy Chan, you let him get into it. And you're like, exactly. Even if she didn't hate him, she made it clear she has some sort of grudge against him. It's like, so you're okay with telling people how you quote unquote feel Sonic93 has some grudge against Gmod Spartan to make your boyfriend look like a lone hero in need of love. Like, what the fuck? You weaponized your boyfriend technically. You weaponized Draco. Draco weaponized you. Mene and Mene weaponized both of you at the same time. You both weaponized him because Mene and Mene, if I understand correctly, I don't remember how. I don't even know how old Mene and Mene was right here. But Mene is the youngest in this group right here. Draco is around my age in his 30s. Amy, I think, is either below 30 or around Sonic93's age. I don't remember. But why do you have a minor or a previous minor in here involved who's just saying, yeah, basically? This is what I mean. You're enabling minors. Draco's Charizard said, mm-hmm. And she basically has a hatred towards men in general, mainly because of her ex-boyfriend. You're talking about that guy on that list that is not her ex-boyfriend. You bringing in her personal stuff, and it's okay for you to do that? You know, the one who was assessed to pervert towards Blaze? You mean like you? Amy Chan, The fact, Amy-chan says, the fact that Moondis is quickly believing everything she's telling him and just pushing everyone else aside and calling them and me liars is ridiculous. Everything she's telling him, she's making herself sound better than she actually was in this drama. I know I defended Moondis in this video, and I had every right to. At the same time, she's technically right. Amy-chan is technically right because what Sonic93 told me was that Moondis, he had lustful feelings for her. Moondis had an agenda. He just shoved people away. Super Sprite, Mene, and Draco, and Amy, because he wanted to help somebody he had a crush on. Is that right? No. Moondis also abused Sonic93. She confirmed it. She told me I have the recordings. I played the recordings in one more of my previous videos. So Moondis technically wronged Amy-chan, Draco, Mene, and Super Sprite. And possibly others. But then Draco says she even uses her boyfriend. You're talking about the not ex-boyfriend, but the friend. As an example of why all men, like seriously, are horny, sex crazed pigs. So I ask all four of you, and anyone else, how the fuck did it make you feel talking about Sonic93 behind her back like this and spreading some lies and then spreading some, filthy shit out of spite? Instead of doing what I'm doing, making a video and reaching out and even speaking out to Sonic93 or whatever, how did it make you feel to stoop so damn low? Because you never stopped the drama, nor did you fucking try to stop it. Guess what? You helped to create the drama. Amy, you created the drama. You and Alderman did. But you're not doing anything to stop it to this day. You make the rest of us victims look bad because you were never victims of Sonic93 to begin with. And we're not victims of Sonic93 either. But we're actual victims. A lot of us that's going around, we get abused and stuff. I don't know if you're victims of anyone else, but you still make us look bad. And this is Melody right here. I would say this video that Bag of Deuce found and uploaded, this is the one that Sonic93, Draco, and Super Sprite and Mene were in. For more context, you should watch it if you want to, but please don't pretend it's not there. Because a lot of people like Jim and others who are just being so hostile, stupid about Sonic93 saying that she's a doctor and all that stuff, they ignore the video and they pretend they watched it when they didn't. But Melody herself was not innocent. She was actually harassing people and saying things about Silver that were alarming. Like, you would think that this is probably just innocent or silly right here, but it goes deeper. And then she's trying to get him boycotted and stuff, or removed. Has been causing the game to be run. This is ridiculous. Like, people probably say, well, Sonic93 made her hate Silver. Well, why didn't she say Sonic93 made her hate Silver? Why are you saying it for her? Because you're lying. Look at this. You don't see Sonic93 bitching about how Silver is, and you don't see Sonic93 doing what Draco did or what Melody did, saying, "Oh, people are attacking my husband." Though you don't see her saying, "Sega, please save Silver from getting canceled." Did she ever say that? The irony. Look at this. Look at this. You don't see Sonic93 saying this about Blaze, right? This is paranoia induced right here. If I actually believed this, Melody, if I actually believed any of this, if I was a kid and my mom saw this and I saw this, I would be hit with paranoia for the rest of my fucking life over a video game character that wasn't made with such. Different people take it differently. Wow. And that, and that, and this. This was taking it way too far. But this is what I mean with Draco projecting all this nonsense into a video game character. You know, the funny thing is, Melody is the one who's making Silver look like he's real, like a real threat. You said that about Sonic93. Oh, so he treats Silver like he's real. Melody is actually the one doing it, and Draco was actually the one doing it too. This right here is so completely unnecessary. My god dang. And there you go, Melody. This is bad. A video game franchise targeted family friendly with mainly little kids from ages 6 to 14. This is a bad influence for them to have a character in the franchise that looks like a harmful type of play that's causing many people to get sick. So people who are defending MelodySugarPlum to this day, do you not realize, if you've seen any of this, do you not realize that if enough people believe what she was saying, people could have gotten hurt, they could have gotten into a fight. A lot of folks could have blamed Sega. A lot of folks could have wrongfully blamed Sega. Sorry. And they could have been hit with this paranoia for the rest of their lives, or to at least some certain extent. That would have been on you for enabling Melody to spread shit like this if you are so bent on saying, oh, she's a Sonic93 victim, and you don't care about this shit. This is ridiculous. I'm not talking about this person, I'm talking about Melody. And then when she's about to give someone a hard time, and so she did. Melody says, absolutely not. Whisper is amazingly cute character and my fave. She shouldn't be shipped with a low standard character like Silver because he's the most ugly and low quality character. So Draco, and you've seen this stuff, right? You've seen this shit, and then you end up doing the same thing Melody did. That's ironic. When you're in this video helping to talk about her and point out that she's not innocent. She says Whisper deserves to be shipped. Oh my god. Whisper deserves to be shipped with someone else of good quality like Sonic or someone else, not Silver. He belongs in the trash. Kitty says, okay, but this is the ship that makes the most sense. They seem to enjoy each other's company, and I'm pretty sure Whisper doesn't care about looks, and their interactions with each other are cute. But your opinion? Draco, if you had said something like this, what Kitty said to that other person, instead of saying, keep your opinions to yourselves, don't like, don't comment, this would have been the appropriate approach to that comment that you had a problem with. Not saying, oh, keep your opinion to yourself, don't like, don't comment. This was a genuine response from Kitty. I think this is Kitty right here. Um, Given that I've watched this video, but I was taking snapshots because my brain is just really, it's tortured by this bullshit that a lot of Sonic93 haters and other types of haters have spread. So I'm gonna do what I can. Omasini, who I think is Kitty, says the person who called herself a Silver fan in the video you made, not typing her name here, she now hates Silver actually. To get in my Silver Spur drawing and basically wrote the longest thing ever how Whisper shouldn't be with such a disgusting creature like Silver, and wrote how he is a bad character and how ugly he is. This is her talking to I assume it's female. Sorry, this is them talking to Sonic93. Sonic93 says, I have recently done some research on MelodySugarPlum myself, and if I'm going to be honest, everything that happened last year was all for nothing, and not to mention that she isn't as innocent as she makes herself out to be. She made an apology video, if anybody didn't know. And then Melody, come to find out, was lying about the stuff, about how she felt, and was just trolling people to begin with. So it made Sonic93 Pretty much pissed because he was used. Omasini says, "Yep, the comments on my drawing just made me mad. She is not innocent at all. If you are interested, just type Omasini Sylvester and you should find my drawing. Laugh my fucking ass off." Sonic93 said, "I might have seen it, but I'll check it out just in case. I saw it and yeah, I've seen it before." She's like a virus at this point. And she says it's not really Silver himself, but just how he's being portrayed. I've sensed some denial in it. It's like she's trying to compliment Silver, or she is one or the other, but then she's talking about how he's portrayed. It's like, but you're not going into detail right here the way you did before because you know you are wrong, and by saying, oh well, Sega was inconsistent with him when he was not inconsistent in Sonic 06. You're just getting attention right here. Because this is the weird thing right here too. If I remember correctly, in the video, this is 3 days before. No, this is like I think a day before. No, I think a day before Sonic93. A day after Sonic93 uploaded the video, I guess. She's agreeing with Sonic93 right here, and then all of a sudden, months later, a couple more months later, like on Sonic93 said, this is I think this is September, right here. She's telling people that she got ranted on, and then I don't know. If I can remember when Otto and Gajinka actually contacted her, it would probably point to this. I'm just saying, if Otto and Gajinka, if anyone has seen Otto and Gajinka's video or my video on her, and the part where she says she talked to MelodySugarPlum, if you see that she talked to Melody right before this part, then Otto had a hand in her saying this shit. If not, then I rest my case. This is ridiculous, though. All of this shit. I know it's blurry, but you'd probably be better off watching the video yourself. You get better context there by far. And then Melody right here is bothering someone by the name Dorito Queen Celeste on DeviantArt. She goes, "Nice drawing, but don't draw Silver. I hate him." Dorito gets actually I think it was somebody else's art, but I don't remember. But Dorito goes, "Okay, that's it. I'm tired of you being such a little shit. People are allowed to draw Silver even if you hate them," which is true. "I don't go up to people who draw Zooey and say, duh, don't draw this character because I hate her. That is very rude and gives you a bad reputation. And plus, maybe this person actually likes Silver, so why do you feel the need to tell them not to draw what they want?" Okay, yeah, that wasn't Dorito that drew it. "It makes you sound like such a spoiled brat who throws a fit every time someone draws him. We get it. You hate Silver for the shittiest reasons, and you hate Silver. That's fine." Jesus Christ. Don't tell people to not draw him all because you don't like him. In the future, please try and not comment anything bad about him on a piece someone worked hard on. Instead, just ignore it and click the back button and go look at something you do like. It's not that hard. I hope you take my advice. So, Draco, you and Mene, oh my god, not Mene, I'm sorry. You and Melody, after like Sonic 93 treated Silver like he was so real, but you don't see her doing what Melody did. You don't see her doing what Draco did, what you did, Draco. And it's okay for you both to have done this. I know this is back in 2019, but come on. And then she says, "I'm so sorry I was being immature. I'm not gonna lie, my feelings are hurt, but I hope you didn't call me a little shit. I hope you didn't call me a little shit." Okay, the way I read it just now, I get it now. I know there was somebody that called her out, and I get right here, you can tell that she's guilt tripping. I hope you didn't call me a little shit. I hope you didn't call me a little shit. I think that you're a wonderful person and this artist is talented. I never intended to hurt anyone's feelings. I'm crying in bed. I don't want to be shit. That's horrible. Not stop. Not well. No, because I really have to point it out right now that when she said, "I'm so sorry, I was being immature. I'm not gonna lie. My feelings are hurt. I hope you didn't call me." It is basically someone saying, "Oh, I hope you didn't call me a little shit because that would mean the end of the world for me, and I'm just gonna cower in bed and all that." You know, that is guilt tripping right there, as someone will point out later. Dorito Queen says, "Well, did you ever think that you saying don't draw silver may have hurt a fan of his who loves to draw him? Or that someone worked hard on a silver drawing only for you to say that he is a bad character and not to draw him? You aren't the art police. People can and will draw silver whether you like him or not. Also, flattery won't get you this time, darling, and I'm not the one you should be apologizing to." Melody says, "I understand. I was being rude. And I apologize to the artist, and I agree the artist spent a lot of work on this and did a fantastic job. My feelings are still hurt, though. I really don't want to be shit and crying about it." You can tell I didn't exactly pick it up right here, but I get why she said it this way. "I hope you didn't call me shit." That was like a typo, but no, it was deliberate. It was like, "Oh, I hope you didn't call me this. I hope you didn't call me this because you call guilt trip right here." It started right here. Dorito says, "My advice for now would just be take a just be to take a small break from the internet to think about everything and then come back once you've thought about it. Trust me, it helps." Good advice, but am I shit because I'm crying and sad? I'm extremely sensitive. Oh my goodness. Sensitively, mm, extremely sensitively person, and my self esteem isn't that good because I get bullied at school a lot. Just fucking hell. What the? This is guilt tripping tier. Yes, it is. There are teenagers who wouldn't do this shit, and there are teenagers who would actually call you out. Even a 12-year-old would call out a 15-year-old over this if she was really 15 back then. Dorito says, "I'm sorry about that, but everyone gets bullied sometimes in their life, but not everyone turns out like you. I am not trying to hurt you. I'm giving you some advice to try, I think it's his advice, sorry, to try and improve yourself." Melody says, "Thanks for the advice, and I might leave the internet soon. And thinking about it, I regret making those rude comments on artwork to get rid of silver. People can love what they want, and it was selfish of me to do that. Thinking about it, I was typing and not really thinking that much. I just feel like I'm just no good since I have trouble expressing my opinions, make horrible art, and never could enjoy a great franchise and just be mature to accept a character. But what does little shit mean? I feel worthless. Like." You already know what it meant. Someone could say, "Oh, well, by instinct, she could probably get the idea it means something bad." No, she knows what it meant. She said, "I hope you didn't call me a little shit." The context behind the way she said it, and all of that, you have to put that together to see the bigger picture. She keeps bringing it up over and over and over again. It's like someone who calls me little shit. I wouldn't be saying if it really offended me. I wouldn't keep bringing it up and saying, "Oh, you call me this, you call me this, you call me this, you call me this, call me this." I wouldn't be doing this. If I felt horrible, I'd say, "You, dude, like you called me a little shit. That really hurts, man." Like, or a lady, "You called me a little shit. Hey, that hurts." Like, and I would feel uncomfortable talking to them or whatever. But for her to go on and on and on and on and on and on, this is manipulative behavior right here. Dorito says, "Maybe making a journal apologizing for all the things you have done and then go on a mini hiatus, it'll give time for everything to settle down." And it's like, I don't recall people saying Melody Sugar Plum art's horrible, do I? I don't remember. If this were the case, it's like this is out of the blue. She goes, "Okay, we'll do that, but I still feel worthless. I don't want to be shit for that reason. I shouldn't exist." So let me ask, did any of you who are claiming Sonic93 abused Melody Sugar Plum ever go at the Dorito?
I'm not saying you should. You shouldn't. Don't. One, first of all, Dorito was not bullying Melody. Melody was actually going after another artist over Silver. Dorito stepped in and called out Melody. Two, Melody is trying to manipulatively guilt trip Dorito. So, yeah, don't. Dorito didn't do anything wrong. MelodySugarPlum says, I was crying all day yesterday because of this. You really did hurt. Still saying this to Dorito. I couldn't sleep yesterday and went to bed around 5 a.m. Do you really think I'm that? I know I could have handled things better. You say that, but you keep doing this. But I never, ever on DA called anyone hurtful names or bully a person. I believe this is a great artist, and I even said that in the you don't have to go around calling someone a name to actually hurt somebody. There's so many different ways to hurt someone, whether you call them a name or humiliate them or whatever. It's still not good what you're doing. And this is critically spicy, the one who actually called her out over the guilt tripping. She said, they said, hey, can you stop commenting on this post and thread? You're making my friend uncomfortable by keeping it up. Just stop already and stop trying to guilt trip Dorito Queen Celeste. MelodySugarPlum said, I understand and I know it's all my fault. And Dorito Queen Celeste was right. I've been moping around all day, being called a little shit. I feel worthless and I've been crying all day. Oh my God. Stop. Stop moping because some stranger on the internet called you a little shit. Do you base your self worth on a stranger's opinion of you? That's kind of sad. Just drop this and stop being immature. See, critically spicy is right. Even if, hypothetically speaking, in another universe, Dorito was wrong to come off on Melody, as in came off the way Melody saw it, you do not go by what someone is calling you. They don't decide your entire life just because you were called a little shit. But even then, you were abusing your account and going after people who drew silver and other characters you didn't like. You were doing that, and you were literally trying to manipulate Dorito to apologize for something that you actually did wrong to her and the artist, to them and the artist. So this is almost about a wrap. I do want to say something else. If I haven't said it already, I am afraid of things getting worse for everybody. Not just Sonic93, but for everybody. Because a lot of people didn't want to be in this, right? But the ones who go on and on and on and on and on and blame Sonic93 just keep dragging people back into it. And then the ones who keep doing it, they may go after someone like me and say, "Oh, well, you helped you drive them." No, I didn't. It's a no you moment. They want to point their fingers in so many different directions. They want people to shut up so they can just keep talking. Yep, 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 yep. And they don't care that you have your own lives, that you have your own reasons for liking Sonic93. They want to reprogram you. And then they don't even care what happens to Amy Chan or Gmod, like how this affects them. Because let's say Amy Chan and Gmod, Dunsville, and the rest, they just want to be left alone from this, even though they didn't take good measures because they're still enabling shit. Guess what? The people who keep going after Sonic93 like a hate mob are going to hurt Amy Chan and Gmod. You're going to hurt their reputation. You already are, technically. So it's not fair to Gmod. It's not fair to Dunsville. It's not fair to Draco. It's not fair to Mene or Super Sprite or anyone for people to keep doing this if they are, to some extent, trying to step away. Even though what they did is still bad and they need to own up for it too. I can't make them own up. I'm not going to make you all own up. But you all need to leave Sonic93 alone. That means stop lying about her, stop talking about her. Leave her alone. Leave each other alone because you did each other wrong too. Moon just needs to leave Sonic93 alone because he used her. Sonic93, she deserves to live her life.
I'm not saying I didn't do anything wrong to her. I did. Not to the extent that she may think this day, but the reason why I know she's not an abuser is because, first of all, guess what? I would have been traumatized to this day by her. Even though I pointed out what she did not traumatize me. What she did was a result of how the people treated her and how Moondis treated her and how he kept not taking the drama seriously but doing it under his own accord. No one deserves this. Given that Sonic93 has told me at one point, I think that she had tried to jump or felt like she was conflicted as to whether or not she should jump because she wanted to escape something. She wanted to get away from something. Something was going on, whether it was a drama or something else in her personal life. I don't remember what it was, but guess what? All these lies could cause Sonic93 to commit suicide. I'm not saying she was suicidal back then. She was going to do something that was going to end up in a reckless, accidental suicide. That's what I'm saying. Because you people won't shut up. A lot of you who are doing this, those of you doing this deliberately. But guess what? What if someone actually committed suicide over you people spreading lies about Sonic93 and it happened to be somebody who actually thought she was abusive? What would you say? I'll tell you this. If I was running around telling people that Sonic93 is an abuser, and I said something to one of my friends, Sonic93, she's so abusive that she's also a doxer. And that person believes it. That friend of mine believes it. And they said, I had a run-in with a doxer before. I don't know. I used to watch Sonic93's videos. Next day, they end up gone because of what I said that was a lie about Sonic93. Did you ever think about that? Also, did you ever think whether or not Amy-chan could wind up getting depressed the more and more and more you keep bringing this up? Saying, Sonic93 owes an apology. Did you ever think that Dunsville could possibly break down over something? The more you keep speaking for him, when a lot of the times these folks on that list did not ask you to do certain things. Yes, a lot of them did spread lies about Sonic93, but you are keeping it going. Not to the extent that you are doing it. Did they lie? Some of you folks that keep going around, you know it's not true. Especially the ones who catered to RioluPuppy. I almost call it Lilo. RioluPuppy. That video is not a documentary. It's a lie. You lie to your viewers. So how do you feel in the end? You lied in public. So many of you lied in public. Amy, Dunsville, the list goes on. Super Sprite, Draco, Mene. So many of you. And then plenty of you weaponize Akai Jane. Leave Akai Jane alone. She deserves to live her life too, just like each and every single one of you. Granted, I like Akai Jane's art. I don't agree with all of it. Even Sonic93 said to me that she likes her art too. It was just the type of art that she did that Amy-chan and Sonic93 called her out over. But when you have somebody like Amy-chan in the same video as Sonic93, who happens to say, I disown these videos, you can't just let that go. You can't just let that go like you didn't do anything. Because people are shifting the blame to Sonic93. Here's the way it could have worked. If I was Amy-chan and I said I disown these videos, which is stupid to say, the least I would have said, hey, I said something in this video, not just Sonic93. Even though I'm disowning these videos, even though I apologize, don't go after Sonic93. Let her apologize. If she doesn't want to apologize, be the bigger people and walk away. Karma will hit her. That's what I would have said. Did you think about that? Did any of you think about that? I'm not saying it's true. It's not true. I'm saying it hypothetically. But it just goes to show that Amy lied. The problem is so many of you who kept going after her, and even some people who jumped in and claimed you're defending Sonic93 when you're actually trying to ruin her rep and you're being trolls and don't care, you just want to attack somebody. The problem is you did not handle it ethically. You're being borderline trigger happy, judgmental, you're lying, you're expanding on propaganda, so many things. It's not going to stop the way you're doing it. It's not. It won't end because you won't let it. There are so many liars in this, and you're going to say, including me, shut up. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. I have my opinions, I have my facts too, and I'm showing you so much of what's been in front of me. Stop doing this. Stop harassing Sonic93. Stop spreading around the lies that she's a doxer, because someone could take it seriously and they're going to want to do something, and then someone's going to get hurt, and then her parents are going to want to know what the hell. Sonic93 is a doxer, and they don't see the evidence, and guess what? It will affect her family. And Jim, each and every single one of you, let me go back. If I didn't say it already, there we go. Gmod Spartan and Melody, if you're still lurking around, Amy Chan, Dunsville, Alduin, Ghost EXE, Mene, Draco Charizard, Super Sprite, any other people I didn't read off that aren't on this list. I didn't read off the others because they are irrelevant. Jane has a truce with her. YoshiWii1 is minding his business. Her quote-unquote ex-boyfriend was never her ex-boyfriend, minding his own business. The ones I read, plus the other ones, anyone who's still doing this, your name is going to be on a list of people who are antagonists. I'm going to keep tabs on you, me and others who have seen your actions, because you need to fucking stop, or you need to help defuse and actually speak out against the people who are causing this shit. You didn't do anything to help defuse it. So if you keep on letting people go around spreading lies about Sonic93 and then saying, oh, she's a doxer and they don't have evidence, if you do not speak out against it, if you got something to say to Sonic93, be genuine. Talk. Otherwise, you're going to wind up in jail for continuous harassment, weaponization, and someone getting hurt. This is defamation. And this is like it's provocative suicide. It will result in that, more than likely. Because people are trying to provoke Sonic93 to this day. You don't want people doing this to you. You do not have a right to let it happen to her. I would not let it happen to you. Even though you're liars, the names I read off, even though you're liars, I wouldn't let anybody who is pro Sonic93 come and try to hurt you. Oh, you want to test that theory? I'll just make a fake account and I'll just pretend I'm a Sonic93 fan and I'll go harass just to prove my point that Munchkin has. Shut up. Don't even do that. Because people like to do that. They like to do that whole Trojan horse thing and pretend they're on one side and go to another just to kind of prove the point and lie. Shut up. Don't do it. You're going to get found out. You either take life seriously or you fucking don't. Because when someone does it to you, you're going to be like, Munchkin adversary help me. Yeah, you are. After sitting there trying to disprove me. Shut the fuck up and actually help people. Like what I'm doing. There's a few of us who are trying to do this. Even Innocent Beanie, who did a video on RioluPuppy. Hey, she was being neutral. She pointed out flaws with her video. So whatever you say about Sonic93, you may as well say Innocent Beanie is lying. But hey, then again, you'll be lying that Innocent Beanie is lying. And I would know it. Because Innocent Beanie is not lying when she's pointing out the flaws, the issues of RioluPuppy's video. RioluPuppy's video is not a documentary. It's just more and more people spreading propaganda on a woman who lives in Sweden. If it was you, would you want it to happen to you? I wouldn't let it. I wasn't even happy with people constantly bringing up Amy-chan and certain things that she didn't even say. And I know it not to be true because that's not fair to her either. Whatever Gmod, Spartan, Amy-chan, Dunsville, or any of them, whatever they didn't do that people are saying, they said that Sonic93 is a dog. If they didn't say those things, you're slandering these people too. And that's not fair to any of them. And Akai Jane had enough of this. Sonic93 had enough of this. Whatever YoshiWii1 did, especially, leave him alone. Let him heal. He would have said something if he was actually traumatized by Sonic93. But you're not defending him when you say it. You're lying over him. You're slandering him when you're trying to act like you're defending him. You're weaponizing him. It's time to leave the drama alone. It's been time. If you're not going to apologize to Sonic93, then just piss off. I'm not going to make you apologize. But guess what? You know who you really should be apologizing to besides Sonic93? As in, yes, you should apologize to her. You should be apologizing to Amy and everybody on this list. Everybody. Because you weaponized them. And by that same token, Amy-chan, Gmod, Melody is wherever. Ghost DXE, Mene, all the ones wherever. Dunsville, Draco, Super Sprite, the ones I just read, you should be apologizing to Jane, YoshiWii1. Don't even bother, just leave them alone. And Vallic, you should be apologizing to those three people, and Sonic93. If you're not going to do it, just leave her alone. Again, I can't make you, I won't make you. But so many people need to be apologizing. Over one lady. Are you fucking serious? Over 6 years. You're putting us at risk. You're putting Sonic93 at risk. You're putting each other at risk. You're putting Jane, YoshiWii1, Sonic93's former friend, and Vallic at risk by letting people do this. Why do you people act like you're not better than that? Don't you want peace? Let's try to earn that by breaking the cycle. If you feel you're better than this, let's end this. Let Sonic93 speak. Stop spreading these damn lies about her. If she actually did something wrong, gather the evidence, or at least talk in the same video with her. Don't lie to her. If she doesn't want to talk with you, just say your piece and tell people to leave her alone and stop enabling them. Because you lied so many damn times and didn't show any evidence, and she's showing evidence, it goes to show you're liars, regardless. If you truly care about your fans, your viewers, if you truly care about Sonic93, you wouldn't be letting this happen. You wouldn't be doing this to Jane. You wouldn't be doing this to YoshiWii1. You wouldn't be doing this to her ex-friend. That's not her ex-boyfriend. You wouldn't be doing this to Val. You wouldn't be weaponizing people. You wouldn't be doing these things to yourselves and each other. So why? You all lost hope. That's what happened. And you're living in a fantasy. You're hurting people, even if they don't think you are hurting them. Amy-chan, you were hurting Akai without her realizing it. How is that fair? I'm doing this video not just because I'm calling you out, but because I can tell you folks are bullshitting yourselves, and that's not fair to you. What you're doing to yourselves is not fair to you either. Don't you want peace? Monster Adversary out.